The silence. That terrible 3-second silence. Someone asks you a simple question and you freeze. Your brain is screaming the answer in your native language, but your mouth is dead still. Why? Because you are buffering, you are lagging, you are translating, and today that stops.
It stops right now. If you're translating in your head, you're not speaking English. You're solving a math problem, and nobody wants to talk to a calculator. We are here to fix the machine.
Welcome to the Slow English channel. I am Daisy, and with me is the man who has banned dictionaries from his classroom for 20 years, Professor Peter Hanson. Peter, the zero-lag method. This is the holy grail for our listeners. Why is it so hard to achieve?
The Holy Grail, yes. It feels like magic, but it is actually biology. Daisy, I want to take you back to 1998. I was teaching at Columbia University in New York City. I had a student. Let's call him Jonas. Jonas was a genius. He could write essays on Shakespeare that would make you cry. His grammar? Perfect. Better than mine, honestly. But one day, I took the class on a field trip to a busy deli in Manhattan. You know the type. Loud, chaotic, the smell of pastrami and pickles in the air.
I can imagine it. The hustle and bustle.
Exactly, the hustle. The server looks at Jonas and says, "What can I get you?" Just that. What can I get you? Fast, aggressive. And Jonas, he froze. He stood there for 5 full seconds. People behind him started groaning. The server rolled his eyes. Jonas knew the words, what, can, I, and get, but he was trying to rearrange them in his head. He was looking for the translation. In that moment, I realized that fluency isn't about knowing words. It is about speed. It is about zero lag.
That is a painful story, Peter. I think everyone listening has had their own deli moment. That feeling of being a deer in the headlights.
A deer in the headlights. That is a perfect idiom. Let us pause there. That is our first breakdown of the day. Listeners, do not let this phrase fly past you. A deer in the headlights. Peter used it to describe Jonas's panic. Imagine a deer, a forest animal. It walks onto a road at night. Suddenly, a car comes. The lights, the headlights, shine in the deer's eyes. Does the deer run? No, it freezes. It is paralyzed by shock.
We use this constantly in America. If a student looks confused during a lecture, I say, "You look like a deer in the headlights." Now, let us look at the pronunciation. It's not deer in the headlights. It flows together. Listen to the connection. Deerin, deerin. The R connects to the I. Deerin. Peter, try that for us with your American R.
Sure. Deerin. Deer in the headlights. Notice my T in headlights. It's a stop T. I don't say headlight t. I say headlights. It catches in the throat.
Lovely. And in London, we might pronounce that T a bit sharper, but the flow is the same. Deerin the headlights. So Jonas was the deer, the server was the car.
Exactly. And the lag was the roadkill. Sorry, that was dark. But the point is, Jonas was processing English through a filter. He heard the English sound, sent it to the German part of his brain, found the German meaning, formulated a German answer, translated that back to English, and then tried to send it to his mouth. That's 5 steps. The zero-lag method cuts that down to 1 step: input, output.
5 steps sounds exhausting. No wonder our listeners feel tired after speaking for only 10 minutes. It's mental athletics.
It's mental torture. Listen, for 30 years, I've watched students torture themselves. They think more vocabulary will solve the lag. They think, if I just learn 5,000 more words, I will be fast. No, you'll just be a slow calculator with more buttons. You need to rewire the motherboard.
Okay, Professor, let us get into the wiring. How do we cut the cable to our native language?
You have to stop labeling the world in your mother tongue. This is the first drill. I call it the Toddler Walk. Daisy, when a baby learns apple, do they translate? Do they think, okay, that red round thing is pomme in French, so I'll call it apple?
No, they see the red round object and they hear the sound apple. The object and the sound are glued together instantly.
Precisely. They link the image to the sound. Words link the word to the word. That's the mistake. So here's the drill. I want everyone listening to do this. Look around your room right now. Don't ignore me. Look around. Pick an object. Maybe it's your phone. Maybe it's a cup.
I'm looking at my microphone.
Good. Now, usually, your brain whispers the word in your native language first. If you're Spanish, your brain whispers micrófono. Then you force it to say microphone. I want you to kill the whisper. Look at the object. Visualize the English word written on it in bright neon paint. Scream the English word in your mind. Microphone.
This sounds simple, but it's actually quite difficult to suppress that first instinct.
It's incredibly hard. It requires active focus. You have to walk down the street, this is the toddler walk, and name things. Tree, bus, angry dog, puddle. But you must do it before your native language wakes up. It's a race. You're racing your own brain.
I love that image, racing your own brain. Let us try a practical application of this. I'm going to make a sound, Peter, and I want you to tell me the first image that comes to your mind, but you must describe it in a full sentence without pausing. Are you ready?
Haha, I was born ready.
Daisy, sound of tapping on a glass.
The waiter is impatient for me to pay the bill.
Wow, that was specific.
See, I didn't think glass. I didn't think tap. I heard the sound and immediately associated it with a scenario. That's zero lag. I didn't define the sound. I reacted to it.
That is a crucial distinction. You reacted. Most students try to define what they hear. They hear a sentence and try to pass the grammar. Oh, he used the present perfect continuous tense. By the time they figure that out, the conversation has moved on.
Exactly. Analysis is the enemy of fluency. Analysis is for the classroom. Reaction is for the street. You know, Daisy, this brings up a massive cultural difference between how we teach in the US versus the UK. I feel like the British education system loves analysis. You guys love your grammar charts.
Oh, absolutely. We're very fond of structure. We like to keep things tidy. We might say, one must ensure the subject agrees with the verb. It's proper, it's safe. But you Americans, you're a bit more cowboy with the language, aren't you?
Cowboy? I prefer pragmatic. But yes, in New York, if you get the point across, you win. We don't care if you use the subjunctive mood correctly. We care if you got the pizza you ordered.
This leads us to a very interesting debate on vocabulary. If we want zero lag, we need to use words that are natural to us. But the words for thinking or processing are different in our countries. For example, if I'm trying to solve a problem, I might say, I need to suss it out.
Suss it out? If you said that in Brooklyn, people would think you were speaking a foreign language. Suss. It sounds like a snake.
It's very common here. To suss means to investigate or figure out. S-U-S-S. I need to suss out the train schedule.
See, in the States, we would just say, figure it out. Or, if we're being informal, reckon. Though reckon is a bit southern. Actually, a New Yorker would just say, I gotta deal with it.
Figure it out is very logical. It sounds like math again. Figures, numbers. Suss feels more intuitive. But let's look at another one. What about when you're confused? I might say, I've lost the plot.
Lost the plot? Like you're in a movie and you lost the script?
Precisely. It means I'm confused or I've gone crazy. Stop shouting, Dave. You've lost the plot.
That's colorful. We don't have that. We would say he's lost his marbles, or simply he's clueless. But let's bring this back to zero lag. Why do these idioms matter? Because idioms are chunks. They're pre-packaged phrases. If you try to translate lost the plot word for word into, say, Japanese, it means nothing. You lost the story? Where did it go?
That's the key, isn't it? Chunking. This is step 2 of the zero lag method. You cannot speak word by word. You must speak chunk by chunk.
Right. Think of your brain like a warehouse. If you move boxes one by one, it takes all day. If you put the boxes on a pallet and move them with a forklift, you're done in an hour. Chunks are the pallets.
Let us practice this. I am going to give our listeners a sentence. A typical, useful sentence. I was wondering if you could help me.
A classic. Polite. Useful.
Now, the lag way to say this is, I was wondering if you could help me. Robot mode.
Painful.
The zero lag way is to see this as 2 blocks. Block 1, I was wondering if. Block 2, you could help me.
Listen to the rhythm there. I was wondering if. It is one sound. Hum. It is not 5 words. It is one noise that means I am about to ask a favor, politely.
Let's drill this. Peter, I want you to say just that first chunk. I was wondering if. But I want you to say it with 3 different emotions. This helps the brain attach feeling to the sound, which kills the translation.
Okay, emotion number 1, shy. I'm nervous asking a stranger. I was wondering if.
I could hear the hesitation. The pitch went up at the end. Now make it impatient. You have been waiting in line for an hour.
I was wondering if.
Ooh, that was aggressive. You stressed wondering.
Yeah, like I was wondering if you're ever going to do your job.
And finally, casual. You're asking your best friend.
I was wondering if. Notice I dropped the G, wonderin'. I was wondering if.
Perfect. Listeners, you need to do this. Take a phrase, repeat it until it sounds like a song, until it loses its grammatical meaning and just becomes a sound of intention. When you say, I was wondering if, you shouldn't be thinking about the past continuous tense. You should be feeling the politeness.
Daisy, can I tell another story? This one is about the danger of overthinking chunks.
Please, we have plenty of time.
I had a student from Brazil. Let's call her Maria. Maria was obsessed with American slang. She wanted to sound like a native New Yorker so badly. She bought a book of idioms. One day, she comes into my office. She's crying. I say, Maria, what's wrong? She looks at me and says, Professor, I am feeling under the weather.
Well, that is a correct usage.
Yes, but she said it like she was reading a death sentence. I am feeling under the weather. And then she waited for me to applaud. She was so focused on the idiom that she forgot the feeling. She didn't sound sick. She sounded like she was reciting poetry. I told her, Maria, if you're sick, just say, I feel like crap.
Peter, language.
Hey, it's the truth. Sometimes the simple words are the zero lag words. I feel sick. Boom, done. Don't try to be Shakespeare if you can't be Hemingway first.
Hemingway. Short sentences. Direct. That's a good model for our learners.
The best.
I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, the Post-it note idea, or labeling the world. You said we need to visualize the word, but what about abstract concepts? You can stick a label on a chair. You cannot stick a label on freedom or awkwardness.
That's the advanced level. For abstract concepts, you need to link the word to a memory. This is the emotional anchor technique.
Go on.
Take the word awkward, a very British problem, usually.
Ugh, my entire life is awkward.
Right. If you try to translate awkward into Spanish, you might get torpe or incómodo, but it's not quite the same. So to learn awkward with zero lag, you must close your eyes, recall a memory where you wanted to disappear. Maybe you waved at someone, but they weren't waving at you.
Oh, I hate that. You wave, and then you realize they're waving to the person behind you. Then you have to pretend you were scratching your head.
Yes, that feeling, that hot feeling in your neck, that's awkward. You need to fuse the word awkward to that hot feeling in your neck. So next time you feel that heat, the word awkward pops out automatically. No translation, just feeling equals word.
So we're bypassing the dictionary and going straight to the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain.
We're hacking the brain, Daisy. We're biohacking English.
I like that. Let's try a drill for this. Emotional anchoring. I'm going to give you a word, Peter. I want you to describe the physical sensation associated with it, not the definition, the sensation.
Hit me.
The word is overwhelmed.
Tightness in the chest, a noise in the ears like static. My hands feel heavy. I want to close my eyes. Too many tabs open in my brain.
Brilliant. Too many tabs open. That's a modern feeling. Listeners, when you learn the word overwhelmed, do not write too much work. Write tight chest, static noise. Feel it. Next word, relieved.
Shoulders dropping. The stomach unclenches, and the air feels cooler, like taking off a heavy backpack after a 10-mile hike.
Taking off a heavy backpack. That's the image. If you link relieved to the image of the backpack dropping, you'll never forget it.
This is how native speakers operate. We don't have dictionaries in our heads. We have movies. We have sensation libraries. When I speak, I'm just describing the movie playing in my mind.
Which brings us to a critical part of the zero lag method, shadowing, but not just repeating, acting.
Yes, most people do shadowing wrong. They listen to a podcast and mumble along. How are you? I'm fine. That's useless. You're training your mouth to be bored.
You have to become the character. If the speaker is angry, you must be angry. If they are fast, you must be fast.
Daisy, let's do a shadowing duel.
Oh dear, a duel?
Yes, I'll say a sentence with a specific tone. You have to repeat it back to me, mimicking my exact speed, intonation, and emotion, like a mirror.
Okay, I'm ready.
Angry, fast. I told you 1,000 times to lock the door.
Angry, fast. I told you 1,000 times to lock the door.
Whispering, secretive. Nobody can know about what we found in the basement.
Whispering, secretive. Nobody can know about what we found in the basement.
Sarcastic, slow. Oh, sure, that's a great idea, Einstein.
Sarcastic, slow. Oh, sure, that's a great idea, Einstein.
Nice. You got the Einstein perfectly, that little dip in the voice.
It's fun. It feels like acting class.
It is acting class. Speaking a foreign language is a performance. You're putting on a mask. When I speak Spanish, I'm not Peter, the New York professor. I'm Pedro. I'm a little louder. I use my hands more. I have a different personality.
This is a massive psychological barrier for many of our listeners. They feel like they are faking it. They feel inauthentic when they try to copy the accent or the emotion. They say, "That's not me."
I hear this all the time. I don't want to lose my identity. Listen to me closely. You are not losing your identity. You're expanding it. You have an English self waiting to be born, but you're suffocating it because you're afraid of sounding silly.
That's profound. You are suffocating your English self.
You have to be willing to sound silly. You have to be willing to make weird noises. Look, English is a weird language. We hiss, we spit, we growl. If you're too proud to make the sounds, you'll never speak the language.
Let's talk about those sounds, specifically the American versus British attitude in pronunciation. This affects the lag.
How so?
Well, British English, received pronunciation, requires a lot of lip movement. It's very forward in the mouth. Hello, how do you do? My lips are pursed. It takes physical effort.
And American English is lazy.
I wasn't going to say lazy, I was going to say relaxed.
No, it's lazy. We barely open our mouths. We talk from the throat. How you doing? My lips didn't move. How you doing?
If you're trying to speak with zero lag, maybe the American lazy style is easier for flow.
Sometimes we connect everything. What are you doing becomes what you doing. One sound. If you try to enunciate every letter, what are you doing, you will lag. The friction of the consonants slows you down.
So to speed up, you must soften your consonants.
Exactly. Liquefy them. Turn your T's into D's. Turn your S's into Z's. Water becomes water. Butter becomes butter. It's like sliding down a slide instead of walking down stairs. Stairs are British. Slides are American.
I am not sure I agree with that analogy entirely, but I see the logic. The staircase of British English requires precision. Step, step, step. The slide relies on momentum.
And momentum is what keeps you from translating. If you stop to check your footing, you fall. You have to keep sliding.
I want to address a specific question from the community. A listener named Ahmed wrote in. He says, I can understand you guys perfectly, but when I watch a movie, I understand nothing. Why?
Ah, the movie effect. This is the ultimate test of zero lag.
Why is it so different?
Because movies are scripted to sound unscripted. They have overlapping dialogue, they have background noise, and most importantly, they use cultural shorthand.
Cultural shorthand.
Yes, references that aren't in the dictionary. If a character says, he pulled a Houdini, you can't translate that. You have to know who Harry Houdini was.
The magician. So it means he disappeared or escaped.
Right. If you translate Houdini into your language, it means nothing. You have to have the cultural image.
So Ahmed needs to study culture, not just language.
He needs to consume media without subtitles. This is the scary advice.
No subtitles? Even English ones?
Turn them off. When you have subtitles on, you are reading, you are not listening. Your brain is a lazy organ. If you give it text, it will read the text and ignore the audio. It's like riding a bike with training wheels. You think you are riding, but the wheels are doing the work.
But what if he doesn't understand?
Then he doesn't understand. That is okay. Let the confusion wash over you. Watch the scene 5 times. Look at the faces. Look at the body language. Guess. Reckon what is happening. Your brain needs to struggle to learn. If it is easy, you are not learning.
Your brain needs to struggle. That is the gym mentality. No pain, no gain.
Exactly. If you leave the gym without sweating, you wasted your time. If you finish a study session and your head doesn't hurt a little bit, you didn't push hard enough.
I want to pivot back to a drill. We talked about chunking and emotional anchoring. Now I want to talk about connectors. These are the glue of the zero lag method.
Oh, I love connectors. These are the thinking noises that let you buy time without switching languages.
Yes, when you pause, you usually say or in your native tone. That signals your brain to switch back to your native language.
Right. If I'm speaking Spanish and I say like an American, I break the spell.
So we need to teach our listeners the English pause.
The best one is, you know?
You know, 2 words, but it means nothing.
It means, I'm thinking, please wait, but I'm still speaking English. I was going to the store and, I saw this guy.
Another good one is, well, actually.
Well, actually, use that when you want to correct someone or change direction. Is it raining? Well, actually, it's just drizzling.
And my favorite British one, to be honest.
We use that too. To be honest, I don't like pizza. I can't believe I said that. I love pizza.
I was about to revoke your New York citizenship.
But these fillers, to be honest, you know, I mean, like, these are safety nets. They keep the engine running while you check the map.
Let's drill this. I will ask you a difficult question. I want you to use 3 fillers before you answer to show how much time you can buy.
Okay, put me on the spot.
Peter, what is the meaning of life?
Wow. Okay, well, to be honest, I think it's about chocolate.
You bought yourself about 5 seconds there.
5 seconds is a lifetime in conversation. In 5 seconds, I can calm down, I can remember a word, I can check my grammar, and to the listener, I didn't sound silent. I sounded thoughtful.
That is the trick. Silence sounds like failure. Fillers sound like thinking.
Write that down. Silence sounds like failure. Fillers sound like thinking.
We are approaching the final segment of our session, Peter. I want to talk about confidence, the psychology of zero lag, because technically you can know all these tricks, but if you're afraid, you will still freeze.
Fear is the wall. I see it in the eyes of my students. They're terrified of being judged.
They think, if I make a mistake, they will think I'm stupid.
Correct. And here's the brutal truth I tell my students. People don't care about you as much as you think they do.
That is comforting?
It is liberating. The person you're talking to, they're worried about their own problems. They're wondering if they have spinach in their teeth. They're worrying about being late. They're not analyzing your verb conjugations.
So we are the main characters of our own movies, but just extras in everyone else's.
Exactly. So if you mess up, if you say he go instead of he goes, nobody's going to call the grammar police. They'll just keep listening.
I remember when I was learning French, I was so scared. I wouldn't speak for months. Then one day I was in Paris and I had to find a toilet.
Emergency breaks the fear.
It does. I ran up to a woman and shouted a mix of words. I think I said, toilet, please, where? No grammar, no polite introduction.
Did it work?
She pointed, I found it, success.
That's communication. You had zero lag because the urgency was higher than the fear. You need to manufacture that urgency.
How? We cannot always need the toilet.
No, but you can give yourself challenges. I must speak for 60 seconds without stopping. Or, I must explain this concept before the water boils. Put pressure on yourself. Pressure destroys the perfectionism that causes lag.
Perfectionism is the enemy.
Perfectionism is a disease in language learning. The goal is connection, not perfection.
Peter, before we go, I want one final mentorship thought from you. For the person listening who has studied for 10 years and still feels stuck, what is the one thing they should do tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, wake up, do not look at your phone, do not look at Instagram, go to the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and have a conversation with yourself in English for 2 minutes. Ask yourself, what is my plan today? How do I feel? Answer out loud. Hear your own voice filling the room. Get comfortable with the sound of you speaking English. Because if you can't talk to yourself, you can't talk to the world.
If you can't talk to yourself, you can't talk to the world. Peter Hanson, thank you for that wisdom.
My pleasure, Daisy. Keep sliding, everyone.
And to our listeners, remember, the silence is only scary if you let it be. Fill it with your voice. Fill it with your story. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.